All right, now we're going to get started with our teams, and coming off of a close loss last week, scored 2 touchdowns in the last 42 seconds, Coach Andrew Webb and the Clinton Red Devils.
Thank you. We've only played one time since we've been here last week. We had a bye week. Last week we started our conference. Played with a 17-14 loss to Broome. Kids battled hard. We struggled to execute consistently. That's been a couple of words that we've used throughout our year. We continue to work on it. Our guys' attitude and effort is outstanding, and we're just to a point where we kind of just got to kick the door down and try to get over the hump and get better. And our kids are determined to do that. And we're real proud of them. We play Lancaster tonight at home. It's senior night for us. Lancaster is 6-0, and it's going to be another challenge for us. But our guys are, they don't quit working at all. So we're real proud of them. We brought 4 guys with us that were Player of the Week versus Broome. You just stand up when I call your name. George Rice was our Defensive Player of the Week. He had 15 solo tackles. That's an outstanding night for a defensive football player. 15 solo tackles. I think he ended up on 19 altogether. But he's our Defensive Player of the Week. Anthony Gary is a senior offensive guard. He was our Offensive Player of the Week. Graded out at over 80%. He's been real consistent for us on the offensive line. We're real proud of him. Andrew Guy is another senior. He was our Special Teams Player of the Week. Hard to find a better Red Devil than Andrew Guy. You can probably count on one hand the number of workouts he's missed in 4 years. He's outstanding. He played real well on our kickoff return and recovered our onside kick to start the game for us. Our next man up award from this past week was another senior, Thad Birchmore. Thad is another outstanding Red Devil. When we played Broome, we got some people banged up. We're real thin at running back. When we played scout team offense, most of our healthy running backs are playing defense. Thad took a beating at running back, but he did it because he gets what it is to be a part of something bigger than himself. And real proud of Thad, real proud of the Red Devil that he is, and these young men continue to work hard. You see them with their black jerseys on. It's the first time I've ever worn black jerseys. It's been a special week at our school. We're having a blackout for cancer game tonight. Our kids have worked harder. We sold jerseys than anybody in the family, anybody in our community that had somebody in their family that has fought cancer. And you see the names on the back of their jerseys. Some of them, I think 2 of them that are sitting here, they have their family, somebody that represents somebody in their family. And I think Anthony and George, they had no clue who these people were that they're going to be representing. But we had a cookout this past Wednesday night where all the families got to come in. They got to meet the young men that's going to be representing them, and they got to learn a whole lot about the people that they're going to be representing. So it's been a real special week, and we hope to bust that door down tonight versus Lancaster. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, now the Lawrence Academy Crusaders coming off a big 50-0 shutout win. Coach Todd Kirk is not with us, so Rod Holmes has big shoes to fill. So we're going to call on Rod Holmes.
Todd always puts me in an awkward position. Last year I kind of got the opportunity to speak again last year, so he called me this morning, of course, and asked me to do it again today. So I decided I was going to actually pay Todd back a little bit. So I got a picture I'm going to circulate among everybody. This is Todd in the 11th grade. So this will be pretty neat. You can, of course, back in our day, guys, a lot of guys definitely wasn't racist, but a lot of black guys had afros. Todd broke that racial barrier in this picture. You'll be able to see that. It's a pretty neat little picture for everybody. We came off of a good win last week. We studied pretty hard on Newberry. Newberry's got a very scrambler of a quarterback. So I do the film with Todd, and I get film from other schools and all. We research that. The reason we brought the defensive guys today is they really contained that quarterback, and that helped us to. I mean, he's really hurt some other teams that's played us, and they played against, and they've won some games that we've lost against. So I was really impressed with how our defensive did. We brought a few guys with us, and I wanted to mention them. Our ends, you will guys stand up and we mention name. Will Price, one of our ends, and Joshua Moore. and our tackles, Cody Snipes and Jonathan Burns. These guys are really not just defensive players. When you got a small school, you end up playing both ways in a lot of cases, and just about every guy on our team plays both ways. The reason that Todd isn't here is one of the schools we are playing, and of course we're 8-man, has only got 8 players. And they are kind of like us. We got 4 guys that are injured, and they got 1 guy that's injured, so they couldn't even put a team together. So we're off, and Todd took that opportunity to go see his family in Virginia, and that's how I got where I am today, speaking for you. As I mentioned, we got a small team, and but we've got a 2-5 record, and we got 3 more games left, so we could end up 5-5 this year and actually make the playoffs. Our next game, when you're playing small schools like that, is a pretty good distance away. We played a couple of times in Charleston, a good distance for us, and our next game's in Lake City. It's next Friday. Then we got 2 home games after that. So I feel good about our chances as long as we keep studying and doing like we did this past week. It'll make a difference. But being off, we'll definitely be there, Andrew, to support y'all tonight at the Clinton game. I'm real proud of what y'all doing with the blackout tonight, and we've had many discussions at school and among the kids that play football. I think you'll be surprised at the turnout. We might even get 100% from Orange Academy there. The last thing I want to say is we appreciate everything that the Touchdown Club does, and we appreciate this whole community standing behind football. It just makes a difference. My son's a senior this year, and the one thing in his life that he lives for is sports, and he is touched by how our county has come together to put this show on, and it's made a world of difference in his life. And you know, even to the point that I wanted him to kind of move out of the community to go to college, but he's looking hard at PC because he just likes that small school atmosphere and that community effect that you get. So thank you again, everybody that supports it. Thank you for the Touchdown Club.
All right, next up, coming off a big 55-22 win over Woodmont last week, Coach Chris Weiner and the Lawrence Raiders.
I do want that picture back.
First of all, I'd tell Clinton that's awesome what y'all doing, and I know that's going to be a special night for y'all tonight for many different reasons. But whoever came up with that, that's an awesome idea, and proud of just being here, being a part of it, getting to hear what y'all are doing, and hopefully we can find a way to do some similar things, and we do. But that's awesome. Good luck to y'all tonight with that. Last 2 weeks we won. I don't really get much into stats other than that one and this one. So just the way it is. We post them, we let the kids look at them, and they love it. But that's all I really care about. It doesn't matter if it's 2-0 or 158. Well, no, I'm lying about that. I like 7-3 games, honestly. And I call the plays. I like defensive games. I just do. To me, that's what football's supposed to be, is hitting people in the mouth, not basketball on the grass. So we played well the last couple of weeks, especially this past week. We really kind of clicked. For people that don't follow us that much, our region is, and I've been in Region 1 my entire life, since the time I played all the way to now, except for a few years at 96. And it's by far and away the toughest it's ever been. Usually there was maybe 1 or 2 dogs at the top and everybody else is just terrible, but it's not the case now. I mean, you've got 4 really good football teams, and then easily, and believe it or not, Woodmont has a ton of talent. They just suffer from some similar things that we suffer from sometimes, and is that they tuck their head between their legs when things don't go well, and they don't really know how to react to adversity. So it's a tough battle week in and week out. We got a tough battle tonight with T.O. Hanna. T.O. Hanna's a much improved football team. They've got a lot of really good players on their team. They've really made a huge investment there and at the other high school in that area for athletics, and especially football. So there's a lot of excitement buzzing in those 2 schools about where they're going from here from a football standpoint. So we're excited about them coming to our place because we feel like we've got a similar buzz as far as where we're going to go from here. we're glad that we're playing well now that we're here in the middle of the year. I do want to recognize some of the guys that I brought with us today. If y'all just stand up. Jalen Williams is one of our starting linebackers. Unbelievable kid, unbelievable player. Really does a great job of understanding how the game is supposed to be played, meaning if he's got a gap, he controls a gap. He's not a guy that freelances and just tries to do more than what he's asked to do, and when you're a linebacker in our scheme, that's huge. Raheem Johnson, another starting linebacker for us, same exact deal. Unbelievable kid, both high character, just does everything we ask him to, and is a really good football player. Both these young men are. They've got some impressive stats. You know, I don't know them right off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I probably should have wrote them down, but I know they're good football players and they do a whole lot for us. And we got Zaylen Smith, who's one of our starting offensive linemen. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have gave you a plum nickel for him last year. But this kid has grown up, matured, been unbelievably supportive in the good times and the bad. If you listen on Friday nights, you'll hear his big mouth like mine on the sideline cheering on his teammates when he's not in the game. I've been listening, and you're doing a good job of that. Okay? I think he comes stands near me, so I'll hear him. But he's been great. And one thing that I didn't know this, and I looked up his grades at the end of last year because he's got all the talent in the world to play beyond Lawrence. These guys make like all A's and B. I mean, they're awesome students, and not that I didn't think that you were smart by no means, but that's awesome because not only are all three of these guys really good players, they're all really, really good students. And there are people at the school, if you ask them about, you can sit down now, if you ask them about any of these guys' names, their eyes will light up, and you know, they'll tell you something really positive. And that's the thing that we're most excited about is there's so much positive. Sometimes it's easy to dwell on the negative. I think, you know, Thomas Jones was picked this week for the Shrine Bowl, and I think, you know, especially you young guys, his decision to play football this year, to me, was all you needed to know about him. I probably got 15 or 20 phone calls this week about, hey, Coach, we heard Thomas got selected for the team, this, that, and the other. Well, I nominated 6 people for both North, South, and Shrine Bowl off our team, so I didn't know who they were talking about to start with, but y'all know how it is in today's world, and I think sometimes we forget and we take our eyes off the bigger prize, is we want to tell, hey, son, you probably shouldn't play football because you might get injured and it would hurt your chances for your future. But you know what? Tom said, to heck with that. He gonna play with the boys he grew up with. He don't care what you think. And to me, that is an awesome message to send to all the young guys in Lawrence County that have grown up watching him play, and you know, these young guys that, like my son, and he idolizes all of them, you know, that it ain't all about me, and no matter what people tell you that you got to get yours, that there's more important things in life, and that's humility and loyalty and those type things. So I thought that was an awesome deal because Thomas not for a once minute wavered when he told me that he was just going to play baseball at Vanderbilt. Now, I was a little mad because I had every college coach in the country come to Lawrence to talk to him, and I had to talk to him too. So, you know, I said, I wish you just told me that 6 months ago. But, you know, I'm kidding. It was a great experience for both of us to go through with that. But to me, that's an awesome message, is that, you know, in the days of doing year-round stuff and focusing completely on things that, you know, my grandma would call false idols, I think sometimes that, you know, we forget that there's more important things, and that's the bonds and the relationships you have with the people that you say you love. Okay? Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
The Presbyterian College Blue Hose are not with us today. Coach Harold Nichols sends his regrets. They are actually on their way to Conway. They've got a tough task with the #1 ranked Coastal Carolina Chanticleers tomorrow, so they will not be with us today. Our guest speaker today is Jim Howie. Jim has worked in the National Football League since 1999. He served as a back judge, a field judge, and is currently a head linesman. He's worked the playoffs. He also was in the ACC from 1991 to 1999. He was in the South Atlantic Conference, where he ran up and down with Coach Callie Galt and the PC Blue Hose. He was also in the South Carolina Football Officials Association as a high school official from 1975 to 1997. And what makes him an even better official was he also officiated high school and college basketball. I introduce Jim Howie.
I was also an educator for 34 years, so I'm going to try to use that education voice and not hold that microphone. Yeah, I've been officiating for a long time. And I've heard Coach Ivy and I've heard Coach Galt get on me so many times. But today is my day. I can remember coming over for the Thanksgiving Day game, and that was a great game. We come over and work PC in Newberry, and this was when Coach Galt had moved on up, and he was the athletic director, and he came in that locker room, and he kind of went around the room. He said, "Yeah, I remember 2 years ago you called a hole in it, cost me the game." He said, "Yeah, you called the pass interference." He went around all, and he got to me, and he said, "I guess everybody else was busy on Thanksgiving, so they sent you over here." Could have been. And then, of course, me and Bobby go way back. We go back to Northwestern days, and we had a game over there, and we did a lot of games. And Bobby ran up to me, and he said, Jimbo, he said, the tight end is getting held. I said, okay. And he comes back to the next play, and he says, Jimbo, the tight end is being held. I said, do you want me to call this? He said, well, yeah. I said, well, Coach, there's only one problem. You're on defense right now. First of all, I want to congratulate all the players, high school coaches, do a great job. I want to challenge the players, be the best you can be, because you only get one shot at this. And as much as I hate to tell you, Coach, I'm from Lancaster. But I admire what you're doing with your cancer game tonight. It's great. I'm a 10-year cancer survivor. And so it means a lot to me when people do this kind of stuff. It really does. I'm getting choked up now. My first game in the NFL, first game was Monday night football. It was when Cleveland went back, and they put the team back in Cleveland. It was Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I was scared to death. I was scared to death. Monday night, I thought, yeah, you know. But it ended up being a real one-sided game. Everything was good. Well, about Tuesday the next week, the phone rings at our house, and my wife answers, and she says, hey, you got a phone call? I said, well, who is it? She said, it's Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated. So I'm coming downstairs, and I'm like, oh, did I screw up another call? We can't give interviews during the season anyway. I'm like, Sports Illustrated. I pick up the phone. Hello, is this Jim Howie? Yes, it is. If you will buy 6 months of Sports Illustrated, when I first was hired, you know, really, my goal, honestly, was, my dad was a high school football official. And I was telling Billy the story when I went to Erskine. Sorry, Coach Galt. When I graduated, he said, why don't you try officiating? I said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, I gave those guys so much grief when I played. I had no way I wanted to be an official. He said, well, you know, you can make a little bit of money. You're a school teacher. You're going to be poor for the rest of your life. You may as well do something that you can make a little bit of money. So I tried it, and I really liked it a lot. And my goal really was to be a college official. That's really, I never really thought about the NFL. You know. But when I got to the NFL, people, for some reason, they wanted to associate me with the Panthers. And I would constantly have to tell people, I don't work for the Panthers. I have nothing to do with the Panthers. Well, you know, the Panthers had a long line of quarterbacks there. They had Kerry Collins, they had Steve Berline, they had Jake Long. They even brought in Vinny Testaverde. Well, during this time, I had a knee injury, and the team doctor there at Carolina, he saw me out there during the game at Carolina, and I was limping. And he said, "What's wrong?" I said, "My knee's hurt." He said, "Well, come into my office next week. We'll see what's going on." I said, "Oh, okay, I appreciate that." So I go up to CMC, go in the office. The nurse looks at me, and she says, "Come here. Just come on back. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to do anything." I'm like, "Dang, oh, that's pretty good. They know who I am." We go back, and she said, "Just go right in here." So Doctor will be in here in a minute. And she said, "By the way, Mr. Testaverde, I thought you played a good game." So you're never quite as important as you think you are. You know, we get a lot of comments from people in the stands, and I learned a long time ago, you don't look in the stands. You can look, but you don't let them know you're looking. So like, you know, on a kickoff, and I'm standing there waiting for the kickoff, and this guy's been screaming, or this lady's been screaming at me, I'll just kind of usually look up there and see who they are. But I learned a long time ago, you don't look, because you're going to either get something really nasty said to you, or you get some kind of sign, it's number one, but it's not number one. Anyway, when Billy said, I've been a back judge, I've been a field judge, and now I'm a head linesman. When I was in the college, I was a head linesman. I think the NFL is just trying to find a place for me. I keep bouncing around all these positions. But when I was a back judge, and we were in Kansas City, and the stands are really close to the field in Kansas City. It's one of the loudest places other than Seattle that you can referee. And this lady was just giving me so much grief. She was just screaming. My number's 37. We all have our own numbers in the NFL. 37, you stink, you're horrible, And I'm thinking, God, lady, just be quiet. You don't even know who I am. So anyway, she says, they kick it, it goes through. She said, "If you were my husband, I would poison you." And I turned around and said, "Lady, if you were my wife, I'd drink it." We did a game in Oakland, and during the regular season, not during the preseason, not during the playoffs, the NFL will let me cash in my ticket, and I can buy coach tickets. And this is what I do. I take my wife and daughter with me 3 times during the regular season. On this particular game, we're going to Oakland. It was Denver and Oakland. And if you know anything about the NFL and rivalries, that's a huge rivalry. They do not, they don't like each other, you know. So I told my daughters, she's a first-year teacher at Buford Middle School in Lancaster, right below Lancaster. But I told her, I said, "Now, Anna, you can't tell them that your daddy's an official." "Well, Daddy, why not? I'm so proud of you." I said, "Just listen to me. You're going to be up in the stands, and this is what I want you to do. If they get up and they cheer, I want y'all to get up and cheer too. You and your mom get up and cheer." I said, "If they get up and boo, y'all just get up and boo too. Don't tell them that your daddy's an official." Okay, I got it. So we did a game. Oh my gosh, we broke up fights all day long. It was unbelievable. Close game right to the end. I think Denver kicked the field goal to win the game. We leave, we go back, we get on the bus, go back to the hotel. They come in behind us, and I said, "Well, Anna, how'd it go up there?" She said, "Daddy, we did a lot of booing up there today." You know, the NFL games are always really exciting. They go down to the last second almost. You think every once in a while you're going to have an easy game, but it's really like being back in the old Sac 8. One team would be ahead 30 or 40 points, and I'll be daggone if that team wouldn't come back and tie it up. I mean, I really learned to officiate football in the Sac 8. Way back when. I mean, we had great players, we had great coaches, and it really was just a great experience. A friend of mine told me that recently his son has asked him for a car, wants to get a car. And just like the message today to you guys, his dad said, "You know, that's a doable thing, but you're going to have to do some things for me." And he said, "First thing is you got to get that schoolwork done." And I applaud you guys for your grades. That's great, because like Coach said, it doesn't matter how good you are. if you don't have the grades, you're not going anywhere. So keep those grades up. So he told his son, he said, look, you got to get those grades up. And he said, okay. He said, 2, he said, I want you to improve your manners. I want you to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, when you see and greet people. I said, okay, I'll work on that. He said, 3, he said, I want you to read your Bible more. He said, I see that Bible a lot of times just laying in there flat. He said, you got to get that thing open. I want you to read it. And he said, 4, I want you to get a haircut. Get a decent haircut. He said, the way you look is ridiculous. 6 weeks go by, 9 weeks, grades come in, the son takes it down there. He said, Dad, here we go. He said, here's my grades. Daddy looked at it and said, you know, you've done well in that. I've seen you study. You really have. I applaud you for that. He said, how about the manners? He said, Dad said, yep, you know, I hear you greet people. And he said, I'm really pleased with how that's come. He said, you're doing a great job with that. He said, and I see you read your Bible. And he said, I'm really proud of you there too. And the son said, well, Dad, how about the car? He said, well, there was number 4. And that was get a haircut. The son said, well, you know, Dad, while I was reading that Bible, I found out that Jesus had long hair. And his dad said, you know something? You're right. But Jesus also walked everywhere he went. Every year in the NFL, we do, and I'm sure Billy has to do this too, we do a complete physical, we do blood work. I know, we do eye tests too. Every once in a while, we do pass an eye test. But we get a complete workout, a complete workup. It's always, it's very stressful. I mean, not just physically, but mentally. And I know, this sounds crazy to y'all, but a lot of times we come off the field and we go like, well, what was the final score? I mean, you're just mentally into it so much. You know there's a difference in the score, but you may not know exactly what the score is. And I know when Billy works games, he knows who wins and who loses. But it's just physically and mentally, it's just tough. We don't get autographs. Actually, it's like a fine for us to ask for an autograph. Everything that we have, our bags, our shoes, our uniforms, is given to us. We are not to ask teams for anything. We don't ask teams for anything. You know, we don't associate with teams. Really, we don't associate with players, even though I did see Sheldon Brown yesterday. I played golf at Chester. Since he's out of the league, we took a picture together. So Sheldon was giving me a hard time. He said, every time I see you, you want to pass interference. We do video. For me, that's the way I get better, is watching video. I know coaches, y'all watch video. I know players watch video. Let me tell you something, we watch a ton of videos. My wife will get bored and come up and watch video with me. After the games, we're on the bus going back. We have a bus that transports us back and forth to the stadium, that takes us either to the airport or the hotel. So I'll call back home and I'll say, well, did you watch the game? Yeah, I watched the game. So how did he look? He looked pretty good. My wife will go, you know that flag foul was called in the 4th quarter, that pass interference? Yeah. She'll go, was that your flag? Yeah. She goes, you're not going to like that. But we do a lot to get ready too. And believe me this, when we miss a call, it bothers us. And I know you think, he's just going to work the next day. No, it don't work like that. I mean, it really bothers us. The guy who missed the call Monday night, I guarantee you, I know him. And it's eating him up. But you know what you got to do? You got to get back on that horse and you got to go again. And you got to have a short memory. And it's just like in life. You want to dwell on failure, then you're not going to be very successful. You're not going to be happy. I've made mistakes. I'm going to make a mistake in that game we got this weekend. I don't want to make a mistake. I would like to not make a mistake, but I will. I'm just human. That's the way it is. I tell people, when players play, coaches coach, and we don't get the unexpected, we do well. But when they do something that's not expected, that's when we have a problem. Who would have ever thought that guy was gonna bat that ball? Nobody. That ball was going out of bounds. Simple play. But he did. But we gotta be ready for that. That guy will never miss that call again. All the calls that I've ever made mistakes on, I don't ever make those, I hopefully don't ever make those again. It's a learning process for all of us. People ask me sometimes, you know, grief, everything you do, why do you want to be an official? And I know Billy gets the same question. I had friends that used to tell me about when I was doing high school games, and let me tell you, when I started, I would go work as many games as I could on Thursday, work Pee-wee games, okay? I worked 2 or 3 Pee-wee games, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and on Thursday, if you really got lucky, you could get a doubleheader. You could get a junior high game and a JV game. And then Friday, you go work the varsity game, and then Saturday, you go somewhere and work a Sac 8 game. Now, I did a lot of officiating. But people would say, you're going to get tired of this, you're going to get tired of it. And, you know, it just got in my blood. Believe it or not, when I went to Erskine, I was a PE major. Coach, did my practice coaching at Abbeville. Never coached a play in my life, except when my daughter came along, I coached her. My wife probably should have done the coaching. She won 2 state championships, not me, but anyway. But you know, when you're out there, Billy knows how this feels, and you've got that uniform on, and you're standing out there in the middle of the field, and they play that national anthem, it's just something about it. It's just something about being there. And then quietness right before the game starts, and then you hear the crowd come up, and it gets so exciting. It's an unbelievable feeling. And then, of course, it's the money, too. I really like the money. Any questions anybody wants to ask?
Who was the worst coach about getting on the
Well, I'm going to take you off the list first. Thank you. And I'm going to take Bobby off, too. I'm going to do that. You know, everybody has their moments. It's what we have to learn as officials is you don't take stuff personally. I mean, I hope that you were really never mad with me, Jim Howie. You were mad with the field judge because of something that I didn't call or I did call or something. I don't take it personally. I learned that a long time ago. I let it go. Now, in my head, I'm saying something completely different that's coming out of my mouth. And remember, you can't quote silence. That's always a good thing. But you know, all the coaches are really pretty good. High school coaches, college coaches, pro coaches, they got a job to do. I realize that, and I got a job to do. And that's just the way it is.
What do you think about the extra point rule?
You know, that's been a really interesting rule. We've had a couple of games where they've gone for 2. Personally, I don't like the rule because if they block it, I got to go 98 yards. I'm not interested in running 98 yards. It adds some excitement to the game. They missed some kicks, and the problem is, and I don't get too technical, but when they change that rule, oh my gosh, it changed. We got a whole other rule book about extra points now because it changed enforcement. What do we do with a foul on a kick that's blocked and the defense picks it up and then they have a low block? Well, we've never had that before. In the NFL, if it was blocked, you know, they intercepted it, it was just over. But now it's not that way. So we've had to learn a whole bunch of new rules and stuff. But I think it'll stay. I don't think we'll change it.
The batted ball rule, what brought that rule into effect?
That's a good question. That's always a good. In the NFL, you can't bat a ball in the end zone. You can't bat a grounded ball in the end zone. You can't bat it forward. You can't bat it backwards.
Right.
In the field of play, you can bat it backwards toward your own goal line, but you can't bat it forward. It's a foul to bat it forward.
So it's two
I don't
different rules
know.
about the batted ball.
Say it again?
So it's two different rules about the batted ball.
Oh,
But
man,
that's
it's a
what,
bunch of different rules.
the other coach was saying, you could bat it forward, but you couldn't bat it backwards.
You can't bat in any direction,
Right.
a grounded ball in the end zone. If it's a ball that has not been grounded, hadn't hit the ground yet, it's still in the air, you can bat it, but you can't bat a ground ball. It ain't that easy, I'm telling you. We got a 2-minute fumble rule, only a runner can advance a fumble. Well, we got a 4th down fumble rule that says if the offense is running with it, he fumbles, that only he can get it and advance it. But if the defense gets it and he's running with it and he fumbles, one of his teammates can advance it. Okay? Think about all that stuff happening.
Jim, you talked about the physical process y'all have to go through with the exam every year.
Right.
From the stands, most of the time, y'all do get an eye exam, don't you?
Well, we do. You know, I actually, I brought my glasses today in case I needed them. So far, pretty good, I think. But yeah, we do take an eye exam. It's just funny. Some of the stuff people yell at you is just, and Billy hears it too. It's just hilarious. I'm like, you can't make that stuff up. Before you came to the game, you had to be thinking about, what am I going to yell at the ref? I mean, you just can't make it up. It's hilarious sometimes. You got to laugh.
What about the lady official?
I think she's doing really good. She's actually on Rick's crew. She's on Pete Morelli's crew. I told Rick last year, Rick Patterson, for the ones that don't know, he's from Gaffney, he's the other NFL guy. I told him last year, I said, you're going to be on her crew. Now, she's a line judge, and Rick was a side judge. So they moved him to field judge and put him on that crew. But here's the, we know Sarah. We work for Gerald Austin in Conference USA. We grade film. We help evaluate college officials. So, you know, I haven't seen her work that much in the pros yet, but Rick says she's doing good. You know, and I want her to do wonderful. I really do. She's worked hard. She deserves a chance. And you know, she's an athlete. I know that. She played college basketball. I mean, I've seen her run on film, and she's an athlete. She deserves a chance. Hey, look, these coaches will tell you, they don't care if you're big, small, anything. If you can do the job, that's what you want. And when you walk out there on that field, if that guy or lady beside you can do the job, that's all you want. Just do your job. That's what you want.
All the games that you call, and the very important ones, how much money do you think one of your calls could cost somebody?
Kind of go back to Sports Illustrated. The bags they give us, they used to have a big thing on there that said NFL, Jimbo Howie 37, okay? For security reasons, the last probably 6-7 years, security told us to take that stuff off our bags. We don't have anything. I won't even wear this pin on the airplane anymore. We had done a game, I think it was Chicago, I'm not sure. This guy, he comes walking up to me. He can't be taller than 5'2". He comes up, "You Jim Howie?" "Yep." I'm thinking, man, this guy recognized me from the game today. He said, "You cost me a hell of a lot of money." All those calls and everything. I'm like, oh, dude. But we go as low key as we can, and I try not to think about that part of it.
Jim, people's ask you the negative questions of bad, terrible coaches in your association. Who are the truly people just impress you as people, whether it be coaches or players that you go through the NFL season?
You know, there's a lot of good guys out there. I can't name somebody. I mean, I could, but I'm not. Because the way media is today, I don't know who's got a phone on and who doesn't. I said one coach, and it happened to be One of the teams that I'm officiating this week, the other coach is going, why didn't you say something about nice about me too? So, you know, I just don't do names. But believe me, there are good coaches and there are good players out there. And the majority of the players are good guys. It's just like in society. You got one little aspect that causes problems and they get all the publicity. But over, you know, generally, these are good people that we work with. They're professional people. Same with us. We go through, when we first get in the league comes around, well, actually before you get in, and they do a security check. And they not only check out me, my wife, my brothers, her people, her family, and they're looking for just whatever might pop up. Every 3 years, we go back to that security check. Has anything changed? Everything's still the same. You still live in the same place? Yeah, I do. Okay, good, because I'm going to come down and I'm going to talk to your neighbors. And that's actually what they did before I got in the NFL. They came in and talked to my neighbors, and the guy told me, he said, okay, I'm leaving here, and I'm going to the post office, and I'm going to ask them if they know Jim Howie. I said, well, let me give you a little clue. I said, I've lived here all my life, and you better say Jimbo Howie. Let me think about my dad.
Do you have a favorite team, NFL, college team?
Say it again now.
Do you have a favorite team, college?
You want to answer that, Bill? Now, here's the deal with that. I don't have a favorite team. And I know people who have favorite teams, they say, you got to have a favorite team. I do not. It doesn't matter to me who wins and loses. I got a job to do. If I don't do my job, somebody's going to get fired. And I kind of like doing this. But we do have people that get fired almost every year. Somebody, and it's not because anything like that, but yeah, I mean, my daughter likes the Panthers. Okay? We walked in the store one day, she had a little pendant on with a football I'd given her. It's got 37 on it, my number. And the guy at the register said, you like football? She said, yeah, I like football. Well, who do you like? She said, I like the Panthers. Your daddy like football? I said, he loves football. Who does he like? She said, my daddy don't like anybody. And that's the way it's got to be. It's got to be, you know, you got to keep that mentality of being a professional out there.
Which game do you have this week?
I'm going to the city of brotherly love.
All right.
Actually, we're not supposed to put that out, but I think, you know, you can pick up on that. Anything else? I got one last story I want to tell. Got time for that? Okay. If you got another question, I'll be glad to answer it. Any of you guys about talking to officials, anything like that? Anything you want to say? Ask me. This is your shot. This is your free shot right now. I don't even have a flag. Can't do anything. Coaches, anything?
Why don't y'all call hold it?
Why don't we call hold? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the high school league. When I go back, since y'all are playing Lancaster tonight, I'm going to make sure they call hold. That, you know, really, what we have to do in every official, the easy ones are pass interference, you know, a late hit. The hard ones are holding calls. Does it really affect the play? You watch the games, it's like Billy's game. Does that affect the shoe? Is that enough to call? You know, the ball goes in the hole, should we have called that? He grafts you outside the frame and he's you know, working with you. For us, the key is hold, let it go. You know, I know they're a little bit stricter in high school on that, but that's the hard part of officiating. It's a judgment deal. You got to make a decision. That's what I get paid to do, is make those decisions. And I need to get them right more times than not.
You ever had a player or a fan put their hands on you?
Not really in hostility. never a fan. I mean, they'd be wrong. But I've had a player, you know, in the heat of the battle, come up and maybe, you know, push me a little bit, but not in hostility, to get my attention. Because if they put their hands on them, we can actually eject. I mean, they're really not supposed to touch us at all. And that's really just for our safety and to keep anything else from happening. I'm sure Billy's, that's the same way with Billy. Billy put the big T on. Great question today. I really enjoyed being here. I want to tell you this last story. If anybody else has got something they want to come up and ask me, I'll be glad to try to answer it. We did a game in Green Bay. This probably could only happen in Green Bay. All right? If you ever have the opportunity to go to a game in Green Bay, go. Those people in Wisconsin are extremely nice people. They really are. As we were leaving the stadium that day, going back into the tunnel, there was a guy standing up there, and he had a big sign. And on that sign, he had Jim Howie, 37. And this is when Rick and I were on the same crew. Rick Patterson, 15. Gerald Austin, we were on Gerald Austin's crew then, 34. Had all our names up there with our numbers. And right in the middle of the sign, it said Luke 23, verse 34. Not going to put you on the spot back there. Luke 23, verse 34. Usually, we don't get a Bible verse. I said, I'm going to write this down. So I took out the game card and wrote it down. Didn't really think about it. And then we're riding home and on an airplane, and Rick's with me. Like I said, we're on the same crew then. And I got to thinking about it, so I'm going to look that up. So I carry a New Testament with me in my bags. But let me tell y'all, we need all the help we can get. So I pulled it out, and I read it. I started laughing. Rick said, what does it say? I said, here, you read it. Luke 23, verse 34. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I enjoyed it. Yes, sir. Overtime. Going in overtime.
So do they put out who's gonna referee the game before the game starts?
Just a few days before. Yeah.
So that's how they got all y'all names and numbers?
Oh, yeah. Well, you can go online right now and get that information. Yeah, it's not just, you know. I can tell you a lot about that, but I can't tell you a lot about it.